Glad you could join us for another edition of Gridiron Gab Triple Option. Whether it's the TDs on the campus gridiron or the extra points during the recruiting wars, we'll gab about it. Let the gabbing begin. Welcome back, all you fanatics of the campus. Glad you could join us here. Of course, you guys know I am Mr. CeeLo. You guys remember the NCAA football games from EA Sports? You guys recognize those game intros. But that last one there, I always had that. Always gave me that feel when I was playing that game that I was about to play a really huge matchup. And that's what we're here to talk about here in week number 1. We already have a major matchup. Well, not, that's kind of sort of. The Utah Utes are trying to break themselves out of this one opening game jitters, as I call it. But they're going to have to do it, and this is breaking news, without their star quarterback, Cam Rising. As you guys know, he injured his ACL in the finale, the bowl game in which they played in, and he was due back. And of course, most of you know ACL injuries are not easy injuries to recover from. They take lots of time and continuous push to get it there. He says he feels damn good, but he's just not ready yet. And they open against, in one of the top-notch games that we refer to, one of the top games on slated games this week as they face off against the Florida Gators. Now, last year, this game was in Gainesville, or in the Swamp. Utah dominated this game for the most part, and Utah had this flurry of, this final flurry, and they were able to come away with the win. And as certain people would say, Gator Nation, so on and so forth, and the Gators proceeded not to play exceptionally well to finish the season. And ruined what I would have said would have been a possible appearance for the Utah Utes. Now, certain individuals like Acho believe this will be a problem for the Utes. I don't think so. This game won't be a problem with the whole basis of SEC. They won't be screaming that after Utah gets through probably destroying the Florida Gators. And killing that whole narrative that the SEC is the toughest conference in the country, yet again. We'll have a discussion about that. Many of you people will agree with what I'm saying, and many of you will not. But we can always bring it to the tape. But let's get into the show. The Utah Utes, the tail of the tape, as you will with boxers, you got to reach and you got whatnot. The Gators only bring back 3 starters on offense, none of which is the quarterback, and 4 defensive starters. On a team that was not very good last year. They weren't bad, they weren't horrible, but they weren't very good. They weren't. I mean, we can look at this team and tell there's going to be a lot of issues. And even their coach said that Coach Napier said that there's going to be, there are going to be a lot of growing pains. So on top of that, they had to travel early with the hurricane that was coming up through Florida, checking in safely here in Georgia, guys. If any of you guys that are affected down in Tallahassee, Tampa on up, through South Georgia and Middle Georgia and towards the Savannah area, our prayers are with you. We hope you guys are safe. Checking back in with the Florida Gators, they've got a lot of issues. They weren't a very good offense in that last year. The defense was okay, but they've lost a lot of guys from that defense. And they've got to figure it out. And judging by what Napier's already said, he already expects it to be a long season. Let's flip it to the Ute side. I expect this game to be interesting the first quarter and a half. And I think the Utes just run the ball and just run over Florida. I don't even think that this game will even provide any kind of a kickoff excitement. I'm pretty sure the schedulers didn't think that this would be the tail of the tape, that the Utes would be bringing back 6 guys on offense and 7 on defense, and Florida would only be bringing back 3 and 4. I don't think they anticipated that at all, and it's going to be obvious. I think Utah is going to show that they're ready to compete for a national championship, not just the Pac-12 title, but I think they're going to be ready to compete. And as I told you guys in the initial first video, the top 25 bloops and blunders, if you will, I think Utah can be a contender. Cam Rising's health depends a lot on it, and I think that they'll get him back. This is just my opinion. I believe they will get him back, soon enough before the meat of their schedule gets really serious. And they've got a matchup with Baylor coming up. They're gonna have to have him ready. They play 8:31, and then of course they get 3 extra days off, and then they have to go to Waco. But then they have pretty much Weber State, and then they can go until the 23rd. They don't have to have him back for almost 3.5 weeks. They could go, especially if they can get through that Baylor game. That Baylor game is going to be a beast. But I would say Cam Rising needs to be ready. They're going to have to deal with this Baylor game. I'm not saying Baylor's a great team, but Baylor's not a team you want to play with in their building. But all in all, looking at this Florida Utah matchup, I look for this to be a walk away for the Utah Utes. I'm not saying it's going to be close. I don't care what Acho says. He's not even capable of understanding what the deal is on this. He's going to shout your SEC all day. Anyway, I believe that the Utah Utes are going to do what they do, run the football. They've got a massive offensive line, massive running game, and they're just going to manhandle. Run over the Gators, and destroy that notion that SEC, and put a massive blow to the SEC power. People are going to say, "Oh, well, they didn't beat Georgia." Well, that just shows just how weak Georgia's side of the division is. Anyhow, I think if I had to put up a score, I would say something along the lines of 45 to 10. No, I'm not going to do that. I would say something. I don't think Florida's offense is that good. I would say my initial response would probably be, given the fact that Utah has to pull away late, I would probably say something like 38 to 10. 38 to 10. Well, anyway, let me know what you guys think. By the way, guys, just wanted to give you guys a final look before we leave you today at the results that we had over on our poll. I'm sure you guys would love to know what the final results are. I want to give you guys always love when you guys give input on these polls. It was Notre Dame edging out everybody for and the poll to just let you guys know which teams will be in the college football playoff. Showing that Notre Dame has 25% of the votes, followed by Georgia at 22%. And third place goes to the Michigan Wolverines, with Ohio State finishing at 11%, and the closest team is LSU at 4%. Alabama at 9%. LSU would be at 4%, and then we have Texas at 3%. FSU at 2%. Washington at 1%. That was one of my favorites. Alex, thank you for adding Florida. Long shot, my friend. Drew added Clemson. It's possible. You got to go through me. And John added Utah. 0% still. That's very few people are giving Utah a shot. I think Utah is going to prove with this win here. George added South Carolina. Go ahead, beat them daggum dogs. Daniel added Oregon. Bo Nix is your quarterback. Eric says Iowa. I hope you guys have an offense. And Morn says Texas Tech. Well, you guys do have one of our homeboys over there in Steve Linton. But that is the poll that we had from the last time. We also have another poll up for this game. Please take it. Who will win the Thursday night kickoff classic? Will it be the Florida Gators or the Utah Utes? So please go there and be interactive, ladies and gentlemen, and we will get these results back to you ASAP. It's time for me to get out of here, you guys. But just remember, the next time you're tailgating on a campus on a Saturday afternoon, till we meet again, same Gap channel, same Gap platform.